All of us at some point in our lives have had a blocked up nose. In fact, you may just have one watching this video right now. And it's not a good feeling. It's all stuffy and it's really uncomfortable when sleeping. And if you're like I was, then you might be thinking to yourself, well, Spencer, I always have a blocked up nose, not just right now, all the time. Well, working on nasal breathing and a little bit of bulbous oil were the most important parts to me no longer having a permanently blocked up nose. And that is what we're going to go through in this video. How working on nasal breathing can unblock your nose, but also the other benefit of nasal breathing, how it can change your craniofacial structure. But first of all, how can nasal breathing unblock your nose? Now, you might have heard and seen online that Erling Haaland and other footballers and athletes tape their mouth shut when sleeping or training in order to improve their nasal breathing. And that's just not for no reason. Now, yes, this is mainly to improve performance, which you may be interested in, as nasal breathing actually brings in more oxygen than mouth breathing. But it also improves sleep. I mean, you've experienced it if you've had a blocked up nose. If you've got a blocked up nose when you try and sleep and it's just you can't get much air in when you haven't got your mouth open and you have to sleep with your mouth open, it's just not great. Now, whether you're interested in improving your performance or not, I don't know. And I'm certainly not saying you have to buy mouth tape. I mean, I don't even use mouth tape. But the best way to improve nasal breathing is just to be more conscious of how you are breathing. Be more conscious throughout the day is if you're using your mouth to breathe or if you're using your nose to breathe. And if you're using your mouth to breathe, then change to your nasal breathing. And I expect a lot of you watching this with a constantly blocked up nose will be predominantly mouth breathers without even realising it. And this will be a hard habit to change. There's no doubt about it. But with constantly reminding yourself and constantly doing it over and over again and trying to build the habit of nasal breathing, it will happen. And then they'll get to a point where you'll be naturally nasal breathing, and hopefully that will have a direct correlation with permanently unblocking your nose. Now, a problem with this is you might find that you can't breathe at all without mouth breathing. And when it comes to this issue, try and find something that will unblock it, and then you can work on the nasal breathing once it's been unblocked for a temporary amount of time. I really like to use bulbous oil. It's not a sponsor, by the way. I mean, I have too small of a channel to have a sponsor. But I found it's the best thing. It's a little bit more expensive than the other products, but I found it's the best thing to just unblock my nose before going to sleep, or if I feel a little bit stuffy throughout the day. It's the best thing to unblock it for a little bit of time, and then I can work on the nasal breathing throughout the day and maintain the unblockedness, if that's a word. The second benefit, as I said earlier, is changes to your craniofacial structure and how it can actually make you look more attractive. Andrew Huberman talked about this with Chris Williamson on Modern Wisdom. Yes, Andrew Huberman again, I know, but he's a great guy and I have to give a shout out when he comes up with something good and I want to talk about it. He talks about how nasal breathing is actually one of the main factors to developing your craniofacial structure, as well as other things such as chewing harder foods, chewing foods more, etc. In short, it said that mouth breathing develops people to have more of an ugly face, and nasal breathing actually makes people have more of an attractive face, which is typically a more symmetrical, sharper face. So, I mean, if there's a pretty good motivation to improve your nasal breathing, there it is. He obviously talks about, and this is quite an obvious point, that in exercise or when eating or when speaking, mouth breathing is quite normal. That's the normal thing to do. But at rest, and when we're just walking around, doing normal things, then that is when you should focus on the nasal breathing side. And it comes back to the point, like I said earlier, the best way to do this is to just consciously remind yourself to nasal breathe, nasal breathe, nasal breathe. I mean, you can get mouth tape if you want. I've personally never tried it. I don't plan to use it because I found the best way is just through that constant reminder, trying to create a conscious habit of nasal breathing. And so if you've watched this video because you've got a blocked up nose or anything like that, this is a problem I always used to struggle with, so I hope it's helped you out, or it will help you out in the future. This channel is about a multitude of different topics. It's from languages to sport to productivity. Self-improvement is the main idea. And if you're interested in the idea of self-improvement and you're interested in these little topics here and there, such as language learning, sport, this and that, and even if you're not interested, these videos will still be relevant to whatever passion you have or self-improvement you're trying to do. Then please support the channel, stick around, subscribe, share it with your family and friends. I've also got a newsletter which you can subscribe to in the description, so we'll have weekly emails to you about a topic I've been interested in on a Tuesday. Also, as soon as you sign up, you get my 2 free ebooks. So that is one about languages called Acquire Languages, and one about the art and what's it called? Discomfort and the Art of Discipline. That's it. You can also follow my other social, Instagram, in the description below. But thank you for watching the video, guys, and thank you for the support on the most recent video, Diary of an Average Footballer. I hope you all have a great week. Welcome to everybody who's new to the channel, and I'll see you guys next week. See ya.